So it's been a very good month of movies that I've been watching recently, and I think it's time that I go over what I've seen and talk about the things that were good, talk about the things that were bad, maybe recommend some movies, because I watch a lot of movies, some of them aren't necessarily popular. To be honest, that might be for good reason sometimes. So let's just talk about it. The first movie on my list would have to be The Barbarian. I loved it the first time I watched it. It was amazing the second time. I will say on my third viewing, it does diminish a little bit in its rewatchability. Everything that I loved about it is still there, and I still have very much the same praises that I give to the film, but to me, there's only really so many times I can laugh at the jokes, and only really so many times I can feel the jump scares. I think that's just kind of how I feel. Bill Skarsgård is perfectly cast in this film. You can never really understand if you can fully trust his character through the entirety of him being in the movie. And his whole performance still has me second guessing whether he had good intentions or bad intentions at any point in this movie. Justin Long plays a perfect asshole and honestly just perfect, horrible person. He has zero redeeming qualities, and when you think he's gonna do good, he just doesn't. And I think he was really well fitted to that role. Every day I get closer to watching Tusk. Whether I will watch Tusk, only time will tell. To describe the plot for those that haven't really seen The Barbarian, it's kind of a movie that takes place within this one house, where you have the story that kind of takes place in the modern day between these two people that double book at an Airbnb, and then this guy who owns the Airbnb coming in much later. And then you have a story that's set in the past that follows basically this serial killer who used to live in the house that is now kind of the centerpiece of all these people's fucked up night. There is a little bit more to that, but I feel like it's kind of the movie that you should go in blind to because it really adds to the scares. Zach Cregger, I think that's how you say it, is the director for this film. And if you don't know who that is, he's basically the guy that directed Weapons and who's directing the up and coming Resident Evil film, which I'm pretty excited to see how he does that. Because if it's anything like The Barbarian, I'll be happy. But if it has too many elements from the Weapons, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that. Not that the Weapons is necessarily terrible. It just didn't resonate with me as much as I'd like. Probably due a rewatch on that one though. Just for a fun thing on my part, would I survive this scenario? Probably not. I'm lactose, and if you've seen the movie, that'll make sense. Okay, now I know the caveat has a lot of cool elements to it. I've seen Ryan Hollinger's breakdown on it, and the fact that this director's movies are kind of like all in the same universe, and the universe is just kind of this world where all this demonic stuff is kind of like sort of normalized, but not really. It's just people running into these sort of situations. All of that is basically pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. But actually sitting down and watching this movie wasn't something that I enjoyed. The story itself is pretty cool. It's basically a guy goes out to a remote home surrounded by water where he can't swim, and he's forced to look after this person who has clearly gone through a lot and is dealing with some sort of demonic presence that lives within this house. Our main character is dealing with the loss of his brother and the traumatic accident that's left him with a lack of memory in certain areas. Builds into a pretty cool plot twist that I thoroughly enjoyed within this film. But the way that it executes it isn't necessarily something that I enjoyed. It's very slow, and I feel like it's a kind of movie that would probably work a little bit better as a short film opposed to a full feature-length film. I should emphasize that I want to say that with love, because I really do like this director, and I'm keen to see his ongoing work, Hokum, which I heard is really good. And I've seen Oddity, and I think that's a step above Caveat, like in every way. I really liked Oddity. That sat with me very well. I'm keen to see Hokum because that just looks really interesting, and it seems to elevate him into his next step of refining his work. With that being said, none of the performances were bad. I think everyone played a part that was really well done. It was really well shot and had some really good jump scares that I believe paid off pretty well. I just realized I didn't say the director's name. It is Damien McCarthy. That's the guy. Would I survive this universe? Yes, I would just leave the house or not even go to the house in the first place, and I can swim, so that's an advantage I have over the main guy already. So I think I'm good. I think I make it out of this one. Deadstream is fucking hilarious. What it's about is basically an obnoxious YouTuber slash streamer that's trying to revive his career by going and investigating this haunted house. He's pretty much just come back from a big long break of his apology video where it seems in his past life he did some controversy things that kind of fucked out his whole thing that he's got going on. What is hilarious about it is that he kind of refuses to drop the character of being in a YouTube video or being a YouTuber the whole time. There's elements where you get to see his true self, but for the majority of the part, it's just over the top ridiculousness of reactions and him just keeping up this persona that he's built on the internet. And this man is genuinely dealing with some horrific, creepy sort of stuff, but the way that it's shot and how he's still talking to a chat the entire time is fucking, it's peak. And I love it for that. I love a good goofy movie. It's definitely not a movie that's amazing. Like, if I had to rank it, it's pretty fucking low. But God, is it a good watch. There's not really a lot that I feel like I need to say on this film. I reckon it's a good movie to chuck on with your homies when you're chilling out, and that's my recommendation on that. Would I survive this scenario? 100%. Probably not. I would probably be dead. You gotta get the views. You gotta stay on the YouTuber grind. I'll be capturing them ghosts until I drop dead or whatever. I don't know, bro. I ain't living. Now, I haven't seen Dave Franco be in any sort of movie outside of comedies, so seeing him in this was a little bit jarring and hard to get my head around. Mainly for the fact that every time that I heard Dave Franco yell, it kind of just reminded me of him being in 21 Jump Street with this scene right here.
Are you serious? Yeah. Okay, she's like, I don't want to go to jail. You know what happens to a handsome guy like me in jail? It rhymes with grape. It rhymes with grape.
And obviously when they're having a serious moment and trying to act in a serious way, it's kind of funny when that pops in your mind. But with that being said, I fucking actually really enjoyed this film. It's about two characters that are kind of dealing with the fear of codependency, where one person relies too much on the other and the other realizes that, and it's kind of just like them trying to sort out where they want to be and how much they want to commit to each other despite being in a relationship for many years. This film has a lot of good body horror, and it comes from the fact that when they move out to this isolated location away from the city and their pre-established lives, once they get trapped in basically this hole overnight, they eventually get out, anytime they connect to each other or stay too close to each other, they fuse. Like, physically their skin like attaches to each other, and it's like their flesh is trying to become one. And pair that with a couple that have intimacy issues and a whole lot of baggage going on where they're trying to figure out where they want to be within their relationship. It's a pretty good recipe for a very interesting scenario. To be honest, with this film, I don't know if I would die or not, or if I would live or not. Would I merge with my significant other and become just this one mound of one person, or would I fight it and become a mound of flesh? I don't think I would want to fight it. I think I would just embrace it, because being a mound of flesh doesn't really seem that appealing to me. So take that with what you will. Now, I've been dying to talk about this one. I am obsessed with Obsession. Whatever they cooked up in the studio that day with that film in particular was just peak, man. The scares are so uncanny in a way that is so jarring, and it takes you through a whiplash of heaps of different emotions. Like, I don't even want to spoil any of it, like, at all, because god damn, is it just chef's kiss in that aspect. I adore Obsession. Like, genuinely been so long since I've had a movie have me on the edge of my seat, like physically on the edge of my seat in anticipation of what is even going to happen. Curry Barker or Curry Baker, however it's said, whatever. That guy, dude. The fact that he's gone from comedy and being a YouTuber into filmmaking and horror movies just proves over and over again that YouTubers and comedians are just really good when it comes to making horror movies and making something that is genuinely terrifying but also can be funny at times. And it's such a nice balance. And I think Obsession has officially topped Hereditary for me, like, without a doubt. And that's a big leap. Like, I've kind of just been like saying to everyone that like wants to go to the cinemas, like, please let me know if you're going to see Obsession, because I would be so down to watch it again. I cannot stress how good that movie is. And you know what? If you've been on the internet, you've probably seen heaps about it. You've probably seen like the diner scene. I feel like is the most iconic one that's been kind of mass spread across the internet. But there's so many things that you could take away from this film that was just superb, and I could go on and on about it, but I think I will save that for a video on its own, because goddamn is Obsession just that good. It's hard to top for the year. It's really hard to top. But I'm keen for Backrooms. I know that's coming out. I want to watch Passenger, and I'll see how that goes. But fuck, man, peak horror film. Peak horror film. Would I survive this situation? However, probably not. There's a good chance I wouldn't. Actually, no, I would, because I'm smarter. I am smarter than the person that did the thing. If you've watched the movie, you know what I mean. I'm smarter than that. I would not make that decision from the get-go that is the catalyst to everything. I would not do that. And I think that's where I would live. But say I do that, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm so dead. I thought I'd end this video off with another very fun and goofy movie that I watched throughout this month called Dead Talent Society. It's basically a Chinese film where this character dies and she's basically a nobody, but in the afterlife there's this thing where people can become urban legends in a way to not be forgotten or like cease to exist because they've been forgotten by the realm. So becoming an urban legend allows them to keep on going and keeping their name and memory alive, and kind of just like a commentary on how would I describe it? A commentary on like famous people and famous culture and that sort of thing. It's definitely not, but it's kind of like Hunger Games meets a talent show where people have to scare the absolute living crap out of people as their profession. It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's kind of like a goofy one. I know it's Chinese, but it's got that very goofiness that you would find in a K-drama or like that Korean sort of style of filmmaking. It's very Asian, I guess. It's got that Asian style of filmmaking, which I fucking adore. Like, as it's always a charm to find one that's just kind of nice to watch, and it's super funny. Like, it's genuinely a good laugh throughout the entirety of the film, and just another oddball. It's been an oddball month of things, and I've really enjoyed that. I find it such a fascinating and interesting concept that I would honestly love to see as a TV show as well. I feel like it's got that perfect balance of what a TV show could be in the way that it's structured and told. Like, you could have like these urban legends trying to find their place in the world. You could even do an animated series with this thing. It's pretty gory, but like not really that gory. Like, people fall off buildings and stuff like that, and it deals with like how people died in their afterlife and whatnot, and what it means to be remembered. And I think that's a pretty wholesome theme. Would I survive this? Theoretically, I am doing it right now. Knock on wood, but I'm surviving this movie already. Maybe this could honestly be what the afterlife's already like. I don't know, but it'd be cool to be an urban legend. And yeah, that's about that.